This is a pretty cool store. It sells mugwort soap. The Path of Philosophy, pretty grand name. It claims to cure your atopy, like eczema, pimples, oily skin, dry skin, wrinkles, just everything. Everything that modern medicine can't hope to achieve at the very low price of 1,080 yen. And ninja hood, just random ninja hood you can get yourself. Get everything here, man. Everything. I've started my day off at the Kumanonyakuoji Shrine, as you can see behind me. Not necessarily because it's a famous shrine or anything, but it stands at the southern end of what's called the Philosopher's Path. Now next to the shrine lies the Philosopher's Path, which is a short little picturesque path which runs north from here alongside this stream. The cool thing about this path is that it isn't one of those hugely popular areas like the other places in Kyoto. As you might have ascertained from the relatively quiet road leading here, it's like a quiet neighborhood path, and it seems nicely tucked away in a quiet part of Kyoto. To be honest, I was only able to find this area because I was perusing Google Maps and I saw the name Philosopher's Path, and I thought to myself, hey, that sounds pretty cool. I wonder what it is. Apparently this path becomes hugely popular when it comes to cherry blossom season, which I'm guessing means these trees on either side are cherry blossoms. But even in the autumn with its beautiful red colors, it's quite nice and it's a good peaceful walk. In fact, I think that's one of the biggest appeals of Kyoto, the fact that it's not a huge megatropolis. In fact, in the time I've been here, I haven't really seen any high-rise buildings. It's got more of a quiet, suburban neighborhood feel to it, and just happens to have a lot of beautiful attractions. And I think in that way, Kyoto really succeeds in drawing visitors into its beauty. Of course, it's got the huge attractions with ridiculous crowds of buses and tourist groups, but also these little small places that are scattered around literally everywhere with the dozens of temples. It kind of helps you engage in more of a feel of what it's like to actually live in Kyoto. If you're a resident here and you'd just be walking along this path on the weekend, what that would feel like. Because of this, I think the citizens of Kyoto are extremely lucky to live in a city like this. A city that isn't defined by one single landmark or monument, but one that's invested in pockets of beauty all throughout the city. Man, can you imagine living here just normally? Like you come out of your house and immediately there's one of the most beautiful areas of Kyoto at your doorstep. I guess that's similar to living in like Bondi or something in Sydney. And just to show how many temples are at your fingertips in Kyoto, just at the sign, there's so many places you want to go to. Continuing on, the parts that make this area even more charming is that these little homes and paths and these bridges were made ages ago. They're very modest. There's none of that post-industrial feel to it, which I think gives it that humble and charming feature. And to be able to achieve that in a city is extremely difficult. My conclusion is that Kyoto was a very wealthy city that didn't have to stress about survival or war. And I can't help but wonder if all the other countries and cities were free from the tyranny of war, wouldn't all the places to live be just as beautiful? Just off the main path, we come to Honen-in Temple, I believe. Oh, we're right next to a mountain. Time continues marching, it slowly grows. Enjoy a nice mountain temple retreat, literally 3 minutes from your home. Oh my god, there's a lot of people. Just like another season, not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time. The temple actually allowed entry into the inner areas, which is pretty cool, at the cost of 800 yen, which I feel is a bit steep. But oh well. Well, I can say that the Japanese really enjoy their gardens, and there's a really unique architecture and atmosphere that's formed by the seamless blend of what's usually consider the outside and inside, where it's just like a seamless transition in between the two. Yeah, it feels like a heaps fun idea to have this amalgamation of the outdoor nature and inside, this transition between the rooms. I wonder if that can inspire some modern housing, if it's feasible to have a house these days to share this sort of style. Imagine if this was your house and you walk into the room, you can see out straight away like that. And then maybe this can be, I don't know, what is this room? I don't know, this can be like your sibling's room, and you just come in here. You walk into your sibling's room and boom, there's a garden like right outside. It's pretty cool. I'm overall really impressed with this temple. It kind of came out of nowhere and it was unexpected, but quite pleased. It's probably the best place I've visited so far. Wow, there's a library as well. Okay, this temple. This temple's just getting better and better. It's huge. How big is this? How big is this area? Oh my god. Although there are some very modern looking glass panels. Okay, at the end of the Philosopher's Path we are met again with huge crowds, which means there's something probably big around here, but I don't really care because I want to avoid the crowds as much as possible. Other spot that's attracting all the crowds seems to be Kinkaku-ji Temple, but I'm actually here for something else. So I'm going to turn around and include some Google images in the video. I'm going to go this way. It's a bit of an interesting path, isn't it? And there's a mountain hike here as well. Alright, there it is. I'm a little bit nervous now, but can you see that building out in front? It's actually a school, quite a big school actually. And this place is called the Kyoto Korean School. You're probably wondering, why is there a Korean school in Kyoto? And yeah, I also saw it on the map, and I wondered, what the hell is this? It's oh, here we go. It's written in Korean. Kyoto Choson Jun-Kogup Hakgyo. And that's actually written in Korean. It translates to Kyoto Choson, which is the name of the country before Korea, and that's how the North Koreans call Korea. Jun-Kogup, intermediate and high school. So, you might have caught the reference, but when I looked up on Wikipedia, apparently there are a number of Korean schools in Japan that are sponsored by the North Korean government to support education of the Korean residents here. Pretty interesting. I wonder if it's still used actively, because I don't see any people, but I do hear some piano sounds. Am I gonna get shot? Is there a camera? Am I now blacklisted by the North Korean government? I'm gonna walk away now. Slowly walk away. Now there's a bit of shortcoming in the navigation, but I've arrived at Kokusaikaikan, which is a neighborhood at the northern tip of Kyoto, and I'm just on my way to the onsen, which is in Kurama, which is even further up north, so I need to make my way to the station. But damn, Kyoto really has a lot of streams with like little paths alongside the road. But it's really nice because the autumn colors are a lot more obvious here. It's a cool place to be. It's almost like a mixed urban and rural community at the same time. The houses are pretty nice though. Fairly modern, but maintaining the Japanese architecture. And this is the station, Iwakura Station. A very nice, like homely, like mountain village type feel. I like it. I like it. Okay, so we arrived at the last stop on this line, Kurama Station, up into the mountains. Judging by the amount of people here, must be a popular stop. Maybe I'm not the only one who's come for the onsen. Damn. Alright, so I was lucky enough to get a free shuttle bus ride to the Kurama onsen, which saved me a 12-minute walk. And it seems like there's not too many tourists around here, which suggests to me they're all for the temple and they're not going to crowd out the onsen. Obviously you can't record, film or take photos inside the onsen, but it was nice. Nothing too special, it's just a spa type thing outside with a lot of naked people, but not too bad, not too bad. And I was really lucky to catch the shuttle bus back to the station, and it feels really weird waiting in line to catch a train. This feels weird.